I think both of your Jim Semivan interviews are two of the best interviews on the phenomenon, literally in the world out there. But for whatever reason, some people, I guess, they just don't understand how relevant it is that a person of his stature is saying some of this stuff to you. Because it's, to me, the stuff that he says in your interviews is pretty explosive, and I like imagine that like this more people would report on this stuff, but it goes over a lot of people's heads. But I'm just wondering, what are some of the key factors from those interviews that you took away from talking to him?
Wow. I mean, again, just the fact that it's Jim Semivan saying this stuff, right? Just that it's somebody with his background who is, high up there in the CIA, but also who is an experiencer himself, right? And I mean, again, he says things, and like you have to be paying attention to catch it, right? Like he'll say it just nonchalantly in a sentence that he got the read in on the UFO program, meaning he was read in to the UFO reality by people that have need to know, right? So that in itself is tremendous, right? He got an official read in from somebody uh, on the UFO program. So that's one major thing. When the last time he was on, he was talking about the executive aspect of it, and people might just overlook it, but he's in a position to know that because he was, or yeah, was CIA, very high up there in the CIA, and the CIA is under the purview of the executive branch. Uh, and again, when he's saying all the things that he's saying, yeah, there's probably some ideas, yeah, there's probably some speculation, but also he is informed on some level regarding the UFO phenomenon, and it's clear to tell when he's talking. The guy is just like is letting it rip, man. He's not holding back in some regards. He obviously in some spaces he has to be careful on what he does say, but I think he goes pretty far in what he does say. And he's actually going to be in that upcoming documentary by Dan Farah that includes Lou Elizondo, Jay Stratton, uh, Christopher Mellon, and Dr. Eric Davis, like many others, very high level. I think it says there's 34 high level government contract, basically people that have insider knowledge of the phenomenon.
And another thing that Jim Semivan said, and this is why I think this is one of the best interviews out there. I've watched it about 6 times, and there's two of them. But he says it's the phenomenon why they're not disclosed. He said it didn't have to do with the government. It's actually the phenomenon themselves not wanting to be disclosed. And that's the highest official I've ever heard say that. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, and so with this, I really don't know what to make of that. Uh, and because when you're talking about the phenomenon, which phenomenon are we talking about? Jim again, he's definitely has has some kind of knowledge about those kind of things. But I do have to say, in my own experience, the UFO intelligence communicated to me that they wanted people to know about them, and so whether it's different intelligences with different agendas, some want disclosure, other UFO groups, non-human intelligence do not. I don't know, but that's another reason that I love talking to people like Jim, because me and Jim don't agree on everything clearly, right? Uh, but I love those kind of conversations, and I'm always willing to listen. Uh, so even if I don't agree with this person or that person on a particular issue or subject, I think that kind of conversation is more fruitful than if we just agreed on everything.
For sure.